Okay, so if you're looking for advice now on how to get your woman back, you've no doubt tried a bunch of things already and it just hasn't worked, right? You might have been able to get some initial results with her when she was breaking up with you, and you might have been able to get another chance with her, but you're most likely at the point now where nothing is working anymore. She's not changing her mind, she's not changing how she feels, so you're stuck. To help you with that, I'm going to give you the 5 best ways to get a woman back. What I've found by helping hundreds of phone coaching clients now is that every relationship is unique, every breakup is unique, and you can't just use the same techniques and tactics that you'll find out there online to get every or any woman back. You've got to tailor your approach to get her back and then follow that through to the end. Okay, so how I'm going to do this for you is point out the low success rate techniques that guys use, and then the 5 high success rate methods that I give my phone coaching clients to get their women back. Low success rate tactics include begging and pleading, promising to change, no contact, not giving her any space at all, crying to her, asking her to help you to change, pouring your heart out to her, being her new ATM and buying her lots of things or paying her way in life, trying to convince her to give you another chance via endless texts, emails and messages, and getting her friends and family involved. So why are those things low success rate tactics and techniques to use to get a woman back? Begging and pleading is a low success rate tactic because a guy can usually get another chance with a woman by begging and pleading with her when she's initially breaking up with him, if she cares about him enough. But if she gives him another chance and he doesn't really change and the dynamic of the relationship is really just the same, she'll eventually break up with him again within a few days, few weeks or a month or so. And then when he tries to beg and plead again, she'll just say no and she won't want anything to do with him unless he can get her back using other methods. The next one, promising to change. When a woman's breaking up with a guy initially, she'll sometimes accept his promises to change, and that's why it's a low success rate tactic in an ex-back situation. Some guys are able to get a woman to give them that extra chance, but when she sees that he hasn't changed and it's still the same thing, she'll most likely just break up with him again, and then when he promises to change, she won't believe him. The next one, no contact. No contact essentially means not contacting a woman for 30 to 60 days after a breakup. In most cases that I've seen over the years, it doesn't work. It works in some cases where a woman really loves the guy and she can't deal with the pain of the breakup and the pain of not having him in her life. So when he stops contacting her, she feels that pain, she contacts him and wants to get back together with him. However, with the majority of ex-back situations that I've dealt with over the years, a guy is at the point where his woman doesn't have feelings for him anymore and she's had enough. And when he stops contacting her, she just uses that time to move on. So it's a low success rate tactic to use. It can sometimes work with women who are inexperienced with relationships and don't really know what to do if their ex suddenly stops contacting them, but the majority of women will either contact their ex just to check that he's still missing her, and if he is, then she just thinks he's using that no contact rule that people talk about online, and then she loses more respect and attraction for him as a result of using a tactic like that. The next one is not giving her any space at all. In some ex-back cases, for example, when a guy has been clingy and needy and controlling and jealous and things, it is a good idea to give the woman 3 to 7 days of space before contacting her. Any longer than that though, and it's just a waste of time, because 3 to 7 days is usually more than enough time for a woman to calm down, feel like her ex isn't stalking her and harassing her and things, and then she becomes open to interacting with him, meeting up with him, etc. However, despite that, it is possible to get a woman back by not giving her any space at all. Some guys are able to do that by jumping all over the situation, being in her face, constantly going around to see her, constantly meeting up with her, and then they get her back and they get another chance. However, it's not a high success rate technique because a lot of women get annoyed by that and they end up asking the guy to give them some space, and in most cases the guy is not able to do that and he turns her off even more by being needy and clingy and desperate, and then she breaks up with him for real. The next one, crying. Not every guy makes this mistake, but some guys do. I've heard it maybe about 30-40% of the time in the cases that I've worked on. And sometimes it can make a woman give a guy another chance because she feels sorry for him and she feels bad that, she's making him feel that way. However, it's a very low success rate technique because women don't feel respect and attraction when a guy can't control his emotions in a time like that, in a moment like that. She doesn't want to see her man go into desperation mode and feel like he's got no control over a situation and start crying like a boy would cry to his mother, sort of thing. She doesn't want to feel that way when she looks at him. Over the years, some of my female friends have shared their thoughts with me while going through a breakup, and some of the things that I've heard women say about a guy who cried to them during a breakup include, "I lost all respect for him at that point. I was disappointed to see him in that way. I just can't look at him the same way anymore. And I didn't think he would be like that." Essentially, what those women are saying is that they stopped looking at him as being their man, right? They stopped looking up to him. Don't stress, don't worry if you have made any of the mistakes that I'm talking about so far. You can always recover from mistakes that you make with your girlfriend, fiance, or wife. These types of mistakes here where begging, pleading, trying to convince her, not contacting her, potentially crying, etc. Those mistakes are all recoverable. You can recover that with a conversation where you get her to forgive you and to not see that as such a serious mistake. Okay, so the next one on the list is asking her to help you to change. This is a low success rate tactic because some women will be willing to help their guy change and improve, right? But the majority of women don't want to be in a position where they are a man's teacher in life about how to be a man, right? A woman doesn't want to feel like she's in a mother-son or big sister, little brother, or teacher-student type of relationship. She wants to feel like she's with a man that she can look up to. She's with a man who knows how to be a man without her instructions. Like, she wants to have a ready-made man. The next tactic is pouring your heart out to her. In some cases, this can work because the woman might feel as though the man is really sincere, he really loves her, and there's no point getting rid of that love if it's so strong. And she then gives him another chance. But in a lot of the cases that I've seen where a guy has poured his heart out to a woman, it's been a situation where he is already being clingy and needy, or on the opposite end of the scale, he's taken her for granted and hasn't really cared about her, and now that she's broken up with him, he's pouring his heart out, telling her how much he loves her. The problem with that approach is that when a guy is pouring his heart out, he's often coming across in a way where he seems desperate and lost without her. The thing is, a woman does want a man to love her and want her and appreciate her, etc., but she doesn't want a guy to be pouring his heart out and giving her the impression that his whole life is destroyed and ruined without her in it. She doesn't want to have that sort of control over her man. The next low success rate tactic is being her new ATM. Some of the guys that I've helped via phone coaching have told me all sorts of things that they've bought for their woman and ways that they've started to support her since the breakup. For example, a guy taking his girlfriend for granted, she dumps him, and then he goes and buys her a really expensive ring. She takes the ring and doesn't get back with him and just keeps taking advantage of him and his generosity. Other examples include paying for her expenses in certain areas of life and also offering to buy her things to make her happy. In some cases, that can get a woman back temporarily where she takes advantage of her guy and gets a bit of revenge on him. But in most cases, it just doesn't work because you can't really buy a woman's love, right? A woman has to be able to respect you and look up to you and feel attracted to you in the ways that are really important in a relationship. And then the other things like buying her something every now and again is seen as a very welcome bonus and nice part of being with you, but that isn't the way of getting a woman back. Another tactic is trying to convince her to give you another chance via endless texts, emails, and messages. Pretty much every guy that I've helped has used this tactic, and sometimes it does get through to a woman. Something that the guy says gets through, and then she says, "All right, I'll give you another chance," or "All right, I'll meet up with you," or "Okay, you can come around," or "I'll come around," etc. And he gets another chance with her. But the reason why it's a low success rate tactic to use to get a woman back properly is that it doesn't last. A guy might get an initial chance back with his woman by bombarding her with loads of messages and trying to convince her, but if the dynamic of the relationship is still the same and he's still making the same communication mistakes in person, then she's most likely just going to break up with him again. And the final one is getting her friends and family involved. Sometimes this tactic can get a woman back if the woman's parents or friends really like the guy and they put in a good word for him and they tell her to give him another chance. However, in most cases, it's one of those backfire techniques where when a guy does it, it makes the situation even worse. People start saying bad things about him and start saying that she needs to distance herself from him because he's out of control. Okay, so now that we've got the low success rate techniques out of the way, what I'm going to do now is give you the high success rate ways to get a woman back. Number 1, get her to forgive you, get her respect back, make her feel attracted to you, and then get her to agree to a 2-week trial where you're back together to see how it goes. Number 2, get her to forgive you, get her to feel respect for you, get her to feel attracted to you, then hook up one last time when you meet up, and then ask for a 2-week trial. Number 3, meet up with her, make her feel respect and attraction for you, and then hook up with her. Number 4, meet up with her, make her feel respect and attraction for you, get her to agree to another catch-up, then at the next catch-up, make her feel more respect and attraction and hook up with her. Number 5, get a new attractive girlfriend, make her feel jealousy and loss, meet up with her, have a discussion that results in mutual forgiveness of each other, make her feel respect and attraction for you, and hook up with her. By the way, most guys don't have to use this approach of getting a new attractive girlfriend. I know that most guys who want to get their woman back aren't interested in dating other women. Thankfully, the other 4 approaches work, and what works even better is the 7-step solution that I provide in my program, Get Your Ex Back Super System. This is the very best approach that any guy can take to get his woman back. More than 100 of my phone coaching clients have successfully used this approach to get their woman back, and you can do it too. Okay, so what do you think you're going to do about your woman? Right, at this point, you've really got 3 options. Your first option is to do nothing, right? You might decide that you don't want her back, or you're not prepared to do what it takes to get her back. You might then continue to live with the pain of not having her as your woman anymore, and hope that you get over it at some point. Number 2, you might want to take what you've learned from this video and try to figure out what to say and do on your own. Some men are capable of getting a woman back on their own, but a lot of men really do need some help at this point. Right? A guy will be feeling emotional, he'll be feeling insecure, he might be panicking that he's going to lose her or that she's going to fall deeply in love with another guy, and he really can't control the way that he is acting and talking to her and interacting with her, and he needs some guidance. So if you feel like you can figure it out on your own, then I recommend that you go ahead and do that, but if you do need some help, I recommend that you have a think about option number 3. Option number 3 is where you get her back by following the simple steps in my program, Get Your Ex Back Super System. All you have to do is watch the 10 hours of video, and by the end of it, you'll be ready to contact her and get her to respect you again, get her to feel attracted to you again, and get her to open up to giving you another chance. My system is designed to get a woman back no matter what the situation is. For example, if it's a new relationship, if she lives overseas, if she lives with you, if you're married, if you're only together for 1 year, if you have children, if you don't have children, if she hates you, if she kind of likes you, if she's seeing someone else, the same fundamental rules apply, right? What you've got to do is the same as what other guys have got to do. You've got to get her to respect you again, you've got to get her to feel attracted to you, and you've got to establish a new relationship dynamic. So if you want me to help you get her back, I recommend that you watch my program, Get Your Ex Back Super System. It also comes with 2 bonuses. The first bonus is all the Facebook, phone, and text message examples from the Get Your Ex Back Super System program. So it's a quick reference guide. Rather than you having to sift through the 10 hours of video and trying to find examples of what to text her and say to her on the phone, you've got all that in a quick reference PDF guide that you can open up on a phone, on a tablet, or on a computer. The next bonus is Ultimate Makeup Sex, and it's 2 hours and 47 minutes of video. I explain exactly how to give her the type of sex that will completely change her mind about the breakup. Something I want to point out here for you is that all I really care about is you getting results, right? I really do understand the situation that you're in because I went through it. A long time ago, before the internet had people online helping each other out, I met a girl at a party and I got lucky with her because I was a bit drunk, she was a bit drunk, and we started kissing. And then we got into a relationship and I became clingy and insecure and needy and jealous and things. And she eventually went out with her sister and a friend one night, cheated on me, and then dumped me the next day over the phone. To say that I was devastated is an understatement. I was destroyed, right? I was absolutely destroyed. She was the love of my life And everywhere I turned, people were just saying, oh, don't worry about it. There are plenty of fish in the sea. You'll find another girl. If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. Give it time. Time heals all wounds. All that sort of crap, right? They were telling me that nonstop. But I didn't want to hear it. I wanted to get her back. Yet back in that time, there was no internet with people helping each other out, so I was stuck. And what happened for me is that I went on after that for a couple of years or so where I was lonely and I couldn't get an attractive woman. Some unattractive women were interested in me, but I wasn't interested in that. I wanted to get my ex back, or I wanted to get a new hot attractive woman, but I just didn't know how to attract women. Eventually I got to the point where I had enough of missing out on love and sex and relationships, so I decided to go out and approach women every weekend until I worked out how to actually attract women on purpose, how to have my choice with women. And initially it was horrible. I got rejected constantly because I didn't know what I was doing. But eventually I worked out the secrets and I went on to have sex with more than 250 women. I lived the Playboy lifestyle for about 10 years and really enjoyed that. And then I found the girl of my dreams. She was 20 when I met her and I was 35, and we're now married. I'm 38, she's 23, and we're very happily married. We're at the point now where we're working on starting a family. So it didn't turn out so bad in the end for me after all. I ended up with a very beautiful wife and we're very happy. But if I had a time machine, I would definitely want to go back and give myself the advice that I have in my Get Your Ex Back Super System program and say, Dan, guess what? You can get her back. Don't listen to all these other people saying that you can't get a woman back. There's plenty of fish in the sea. If she walks away and doesn't come back, then it's not meant to be. All that sort of crap is crap. You can get her back. Here's what you got to say. Here's what you got to do. Go and do it. And then I would have gotten her back. But I suppose I wouldn't have been sitting here now ready to help you. What I am going to teach you in Get Your Ex Back Super System is proven to work, right? I worked it out by helping more than 100 phone coaching clients, right? Guys from all over the world trying to get women back at a point where the woman is saying, no, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't have feelings for you anymore. What you're going to learn in Get Your Ex Back Super System turns that around. You can make her feel differently about you. As you might have noticed throughout life, you can go from disliking someone when you first meet them to liking them. You can go from disliking a person that you've known for a while, and then they change the way that they interact with you, and they talk to you in a different way, and then you start liking them, and you might even really like them. That's how the psychology of human emotions work. Human emotions are not set in stone. They're not unchangeable. You can make her feel respect for you again. You can make her feel attracted to you again. You can bring down her guard. And when her guard is down, you can guide her back into a relationship. Okay, so one other thing I want to do for you in this video is answer a bunch of frequently asked questions that I get about Get Your Ex Back Super System. So there are 7 questions, and the first one is, how quickly will I get the program? That's an easy one to answer. It's an instant download. You will also have lifetime access to come back in and watch it at any time in your customer account, and you can download it on as many devices as you want, your phone, your tablet, your computer, etc. The next one, will it work for my situation? I understand that every situation is unique. Your situation is not the same as other guys, but the fundamentals remain the same. Get her to respect you, get her to feel attracted to you, establish a new, better relationship dynamic. When you approach it in that way, it does work. The woman does change the way that she feels. Her guard does come down, and you can guide her back into a relationship. What if she says that it's too late to get her back? Most women say that when they're going through a breakup. Get away from me. I don't have feelings for you anymore. It's too late. I don't want to be with you. I'm over it. Yes, that's how she's feeling at the point of the breakup, but you can change the way that she feels. How fast can I get her back? Some guys are able to get their ex back immediately. Some guys need a few days. Some guys need a week or two. And sometimes it takes a bit more than a month or so. It really depends on how strong the relationship was and how bad the breakup was. For some guys, they finish watching the 10 hours of video and they then contact their ex and get back with her. Some guys contact their ex, they arrange a time to meet up, they meet up with her, and then she's a little bit stubborn for a while, she doesn't want to meet up, she's still a bit 50-50, and then they're able to get her back the next week. Some guys are blocked from everything, social media, phone, you name it, and she doesn't want to talk to them, so then they need to use techniques prior to being able to get her on the phone, to be able to get her to answer a text, get on the phone, and then meet up with them. So sometimes that can take a couple of weeks. So it really depends on your situation, but what I can guarantee for you is that my approach to getting a woman back is the fastest way to get her back, because it's not about ignoring her. All right, I'm not telling you, hey, go no contact and stop talking to her for 30 or 60 days. I'm saying, get this done now. Right? I'm saying, watch the 10 hours of video, and at the end of the 10 hours of video, start. Right? Start contacting her. Start doing what you need to do to get this back together. The next question, what if she's already seeing someone else? In my program, I explain exactly what to text her and what to say to her on the phone to get her to agree to meet up with you, regardless of how close she is with this new guy and how protective this new guy is of her. The way that I recommend that you explain the meetup to her is a non-threatening meetup, right? The guy doesn't have anything to worry about and he has to accept it. She has to go and catch up with you. When you get her to catch up with you and interact with you in person, that is when the real magic happens. That's when all of my attraction techniques and persuasion techniques start to come into play, and you're able to get her to forgive you, get her to feel respect for you, get her to feel attracted to you, and get her to bring her guard down and open back up to having feelings for you again. The next one, what if she has blocked me on social media and won't answer my calls or texts? This is actually pretty common, so don't think that you're the only one who's in that situation. A lot of guys are at a point where their woman is either blocked them or is no longer responding. So the texts, the messages on social media, what to say when you actually get her on the phone are all included in the program. And if she's completely blocked you and you've only got email, you can also send a message via email to get her to unblock you, answer a text, and get on a phone call with you. And finally, what if she doesn't want to give me another chance? In my program, I provide 2 plans of action. The first plan is plan A, and the second plan is plan B. All right, plan A, most guys are able to get their woman back by following that strategy. However, in extreme ex-back situations where the woman is very stubborn and she's continuing to say no matter how much respect and attraction you make her feel, you then need to go to plan B. Plan B makes her feel a whole range of painful and positive emotions, as well as making her feel more respect and attraction for you. And you can then contact her again, meet up with her, and get her to give you another chance. Hundreds of guys have already used my program to get women back, and I've helped countless guys via my phone coaching service. And you can do it too. You are capable of making her feel differently. You are capable of getting her to bring her guard down. All you have to do is watch the 10 hours of video and then begin to follow the steps, and you'll see that things change. She changes the way that she responds to you, she changes the way that she looks at you, she changes the way that she talks to you, and her guard starts to come down, and you can then guide her back into a relationship with you. So if you are serious about getting her back, I don't recommend that you waste any more time ignoring her or trying to convince her to give you another chance. I also don't recommend that you waste weeks and maybe months trying to figure this stuff out on your own when you can learn it all in 10 hours of video training. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you're welcome to try my program. All you've got to do is go through the training, start using the techniques, and you will see that she changes the way that she feels about you, responds to you, talks to you, and behaves around you. Her guard will start to come down, and you can then guide her back into a relationship with you. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I also hope that you take the next step and watch my program so I can help you get her back as soon as possible. By using the Get Your Ex Back Super System method, you're going to save time. Rather than wasting weeks or months trying to figure it out by trial and error and potentially turning her off even more, you'll be ready to contact her in an attractive way after watching the 10 hours of video. The techniques and methods in my program change how she feels, and she drops her guard and opens back up to being in a relationship with you. When you do get back with her, the relationship is going to be better than before because it's going to be a new dynamic without the old mistakes. You're going to be making her feel respect, attraction, and love for you in ways that she hasn't experienced before. It doesn't matter how good your relationship was in the past, that has to be put aside for now. What you need to do if you want to get her back is create a new relationship dynamic that feels attractive and interesting and exciting and enjoyable to her, and you can do that. I'm ready to guide you through the process of doing it. I'm ready to give you all the examples of what to say and do to make it happen. It's now up to you to take the next step and watch my program. Okay, so to close up here, I just want to say that I hope the video has been helpful for you, and I really do look forward to helping you get your ex back.